Good morning, afternoon, y'all. Afternoonish now. Had a good talk last night in a test. I was testing some new software for live streaming. We'll be doing that from now on live streams, at least when I'm sitting at the PC. And religion was brought up, and I was thinking about religion and everything that's going on in the world today and where we're at in this country especially, and I came to the conclusion that we're all pussies. I'm included in that. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing about my Second Amendment rights. I'm sick of hearing about the Constitution. I'm sick of hearing about the Democrats. I'm sick of hearing about the Republicans. I'm sick of hearing about Joe Biden's gun control that doesn't mean shit to you if you're a man. And the reason I'm so sick of all this is because look at where we're at, people. They dictate what we can and can't say, what we can and can't hear, what we can and can't read. We can't even have conversations. So, thinking that that government's just now become tyrannical, you're fucking 150 years behind. Sorry to cuss, I'm trying to. You're 150 years behind. This isn't something new. It just started affecting you is the only reason that you happen to notice now, because it could possibly affect you. It's the only reason you care, and that is the problem. That's the whole problem with this country. Every problem that we have could be solved if this person just cared about the next person. Everyone. But you don't. And you justify it in your mind because of reasons that they've beat into your mind. They're not your own reasons. Are you really afraid of the violent felon having a firearm? No, you're not, because if you have any common sense, you already know the fucking violent felon has a firearm anyway. If they want to commit acts of violence or if they want to protect themselves, either way. Either way, they have the right to do that. They don't have the right to commit a crime with that firearm. Two separate issues. But government's beating in your head that it's one issue, so we must not let these people have firearms. We need to create laws restricting these people from having firearms, and we need to bury them in prisons if they decide to go against government. The same people that think this way are the first ones to normally shout, "I'm a patriot, and my God-given rights. And well, government can't, I have the right." And that's all they do, is shout that bullshit that they know nothing about. We see it every day. Every day I see this shit. I try not to even scroll through comment sections because you would think at this point people would have thought, wait a second, something ain't right here. Somebody's been bullshitting me. I think they want to lead me to think what they want me to think. But no. Not people in this country. No, they fucking double down the stupidity. They keep bitching about the same shit, keep doing nothing, keep complaining about the same things, and keep the same mindset. Guns Coast to Coast put out a good video today talking about government-sponsored violence. If you are watching this channel, besides the couple of feds that watch it, you are the enemy of the state. The enemy of the state. The state has made you an enemy. Not even because you've done anything. Not because you've even said anything that's so bad. But what they think that you could potentially do. Do you know why? Do you know why they want to restrict your right to keep and bear arms? Do you know why they want to restrict what you can and can't say? Do you know why they want to restrict if you can go to church or not? Number one, they want to keep it separated. Number two, because the government fears you. Not just you, they fear us. They fear me and my neighbor. They fear my street. If they only have to worry about Freedom Inc., though, no worries. They'll roll up in an MRAP, jump out of the car at 4 o'clock in the morning, bust down my door, shoot my dog, probably punch my wife in the mouth, put me in cuffs and drag me off and throw me in some hole somewhere where I'll never be seen again, at least not for a few years. And by the time they wear me out in their mind, I'd have enough. I'd tap out and say they won. And they're going to do the same to you. If you're worried about them making you put your AR-15 on the NFA, you're 150 years behind. They're not letting you go to fucking church. People are being arrested in churches on Easter Sunday. Not so much here, more north of the border, but whatever. We've seen the same shit happen for the last year. They're still giving you the same excuses. They're telling you to, well, I can't talk about that, or I'll get a strike. And my channel will be gone. If I say something that isn't correct in their eyes, medical misinformation. Everything's medical misinformation. And most of all, here's what the funny part about it is that people really don't recognize is the same people that are crying and bitching and moaning who are never going to do anything. For the most part, there are people out there that will say they will do something and then follow through with it. I've met these people. I've seen these people firsthand. They do exist. I happen to be one of these people. I know that I'm one of these people. Anybody that knows me will tell you I'm one of these people. If I say something, by God, come hell or high water, I'm going to do it. Because the only thing I have in this world is my word. That's it. Anybody that knows me knows you can trust me. If I say something, fucking that's the way it is. Even if it's impossible, I will find a way. If I got to cross the freaking moon, I will find a way. I will make it happen. I've been that way as long as I can remember. Because I realized at a young age, all you have is your word, especially in the life I was living at the time. We can't even keep our word to each other. And you know this because these red flag raids are still happening. People are still being harassed, having their doors kicked in, being arrested for artwork. Like, when are you going to wake up? That's my question. When are you going to wake up? I've been fortunate enough that nobody's trying to screw with my neighbors yet, because I would be the first one out the door. They wouldn't do that for me. I know that. I know they wouldn't do that for me. But I would do that for them, knowing, I don't know my neighbors, but I see what happens around here. Nothing happens around here bad enough that anybody's door needs to be kicked in at 4 a.m. I mean, you show up around 4:30 when it's quitting time, and somebody be pulling in the driveway if you need to talk to somebody. There's no reason to kick their door in. But they do that shit as a show of force. They do that shit to instill fear in you. And then the kicker is that they tell you that you need these people. You need the police. You need big government. You need corporate America. You need Amazon. You need your phone. You need YouTube. We need all this shit. Technology has destroyed us. They track everything we do. They've done it for years. And through that, they have figured out how to beat us. So, when you can't beat them at the playing the games fairly, what you have to do is you have to figure out a way to change the rules up. Might not be the exact way the game's supposed to be played, but you know what? If it's your life at hand, then you make the rules up yourself. Now, I said this a few weeks ago, don't lie to yourself about who you are. There's people, everybody has a place in this world. If you were born a male, you have a wife and a kids, but you're still a bitch, don't lie to yourself. Play your position. You can cook, you can clean, you can do whatever, but play your position, man. Stay out the way. When you have 150 million people screaming about what the government's doing, you just seen it happen. You just seen it happen. 80 million people screaming that they got screwed over. 80 million. Did 80 million people get together and fix it? Nope. Sure didn't. But you would think that they would. You would think at that moment they would recognize that something's wrong. Do you think that this is the first time that things like this have happened? It's not. I hate to break your heart. It's not. It's happened for decades and decades upon decades. They've sold you the illusion of freedom. They've told you were free. Then tricked you into supporting the very ones that oppress you. Tricked you into believing that you need the ones that oppress you. Tricked you into believing that you have an obligation to take care of those who will not take care of themselves. Who commit the crimes. Therefore justify the ones who oppress you, because you need the ones who oppress you to catch them. Why? Because they created laws making it illegal for you to catch them or to protect your property. We did, throughout the last year, we've seen 30 cities, 35 cities burned throughout the country? 35 cities. And most of the bigger cities, for sure, D.C., Portland, Seattle, all those people that were arrested, even downtown Cincinnati, all those people that were arrested, all the charges were dropped. Go, commit chaos. Burn private property to the ground. Hit people in the head with bricks. As long as you carry our flag, whatever that flag may be. But if you're on the flip side of that and you are a property owner, or you want to protest the protest, you want to counter protest, or if they feel like you came straight at them, like happened on a certain day, they will throw everything they have at you. They will throw the full force of the federal government at you for being in the area. For being in the area. How do they know you was in the area? Guess. Your phone. They track every move we make. And it's not going to get better if you haven't figured it out. It's only going to continue to get worse. Why is it going to continue to get worse? Because we're going to keep continuing about complaining about what's going on. That's why. We're not going to band together. We're not going to become friends. We're not going to protect our neighbors. For the most part, some of us will. The majority won't. And the truth is that it wouldn't even take that. This country could be turned around in a day with one sentence and everybody saying it. We're done. That's it. We no longer consent. There's a lot of us who have already withdrawn our consent. There's a lot of us that already have our names on the list. I'm sure that I'm on fucking every list that there is to be on. Don't care. No, I don't mean harm to nobody. That leaves me alone. It's on your doorstep now, people. When are you going to stand up? When are you going to recognize what's really happened? When are you going to recognize the snowball effect? They've tricked you into supporting one thing. In this case, the two major things we're after right now is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, right to keep and bear arms. And they have tricked you into being able to restrict those things through getting you to support one thing. They've got you to support prohibited persons lists. If that felon was so dangerous, they probably shouldn't let his ass out of jail. I mean, that's just the way I think. I don't know. A gun doesn't make anyone any more dangerous than they are without a gun. The person's dangerous or they're not, they're evil or they're not. You cannot legislate evil away. But what you can do, wait, back up before that. The very men who created our government, if you go back and read their journal entries and their letters to each other, and where's that? I don't want to lie to you. But read the Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers, they will tell you that on a long enough timeline, this government's going to become tyrannical. And it's your job to stop it. Keep that from happening. We're past that point. We've allowed our government to create laws that restrict us. The more restriction they put on us, the less chance we have of ever being free. And I assure you, in your life, you have never fucking once been free. Being free to do as you're told is called slavery.